My name's Sammy Turton, aka Four-String Boy, and me and Flight Ukulele are here to talk to you today about tremolo picking / tremolo fingerstyle. So the first thing that we need to understand is that tremolo actually has two different techniques. We have more of a constant picking thing, and then we have this alternating thumb to finger technique. We're going to be talking about the latter one, as you just saw me play in the intro. So let's talk about the components that we need, and then we're going to break it down over a series of videos. Okay, so to play nice tremolo fingerstyle, we need to exercise two things. We need to make sure that our index finger and our middle finger can alternate quite happily. And also we need to make sure that your thumb can move between at least 3 strings very comfortably also. For today's session, we're going to focus on alternating these two kids. Next lesson, we'll look at training our thumb. And then we're going to put it all together. Exciting. Let's do it. So to train our fingers for alternating, what we're going to do is we're going to alternate on an open A string, and we're going to basically play your index finger, and then you're going to follow it by your middle finger. We're going to play these at 8 notes, and we'll play 1 bar. So that means we end up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now it might seem simple, but it's really essential to start slowly with these things. Let's try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now when alternating between these two fingers, my hand is often floating, okay? I've got my forearm sort of placed on the ukulele like this, but the rest of my hand is floating. A lot of people use their pinky to anchor them like that, which is absolutely fine. You can do that. The only thing that you can't do with this exercise is use your thumb to plant, which sometimes I would use if I'm just alternating between these two fingers, because we need our thumb to be hopping between the strings. So it'll never really be planted, it'll be jumping between the strings. So either use your pinky to plant there, or like I said, my forearm is carefully there and then I'm over like that. That also works too. Play whatever you think is most comfortable. Okay, so to get the speed up on these fingers quickly, we're going to use our good friend, the metronome. Okay, so if you have a metronome app, then I suggest opening it, but if not, then what I'd like you to do is type the word metronome into Google, and it should automatically give you a metronome straight away. To keep things simple, I'm going to talk about quarter notes here, because the ones online only give you the option of quarter notes, okay? But if you have a nice fancy metronome where you can select the beat, we'll select quarter notes, but we're going to count them as eighths. So it's 100 BPM, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to play them like that to keep it simple. As always with the metronome, I'd count yourself in for a bar first, and then we're going to start playing. Like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. Give yourself a nice breather. And then we do the same thing again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. Okay, so once we've done that 2 or 3 times and you're comfortable that your fingers are alternating, what we're going to do is we're going to add 20 BPM. So we're going to take it to 120 BPM. So now it's 120, and we're going to repeat the exact same exercise, okay? Start with count yourself in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. A breather. And then we do the same again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. With metronome training, it's very efficient, but also can be quite boring. I like it, but you know, I totally understand from students how it can be quite boring. So even if you do this exercise for 5 minutes, okay, or 3 minutes, I'll give you that, okay? If you do that for 3 or 5 minutes a day, that is nothing out of your day, but the amount it will help your playing is stupid. Okay, so that was 120 BPM that we just stopped on. If we continued, say we got to 180 BPM, and at that point we got bored or our fingers started to break down and didn't work, what we do is we call it a day, and then hopefully tomorrow what you would do is you would pick up your metronome. You wouldn't start at 180 because that was your breaking point. You start one jump underneath, so 160 BPM. And you pick it up from there, and then you see how much you can push past. 3-5 minutes, that's it. And then basically keep it and then repeat the next day. You'll be amazed at how fast actually your fingers and your muscle memory pick up on this. And also, it remembers your breaking point and how fast it is. So it allows you to get faster, quicker. That's why metronomes are so effective and good. They're really, excuse me, they're really good for your rhythm, but they're really good just for keeping you going and pushing you. And that's how you get fast, quick. Okay, for our next exercise, it might seem a little weird, but we're actually going to go through some chords. So I'd like to play me a C chord, a G chord, and an F chord. We're still only going to be playing the A string, but basically this gets our left hand used to doing something. Okay, so we'd start on a C chord, and basically I'd play one bar. So I'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'd then change my G chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'd change my F chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to play another bar of F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's C, G, and then F. Like I said, even though we're only playing A string here, it just gets us used to when we're playing tremolo that we can move between chords. So again, what I would do is I'd put my metronome on. That's 120 BPM. For exciting things, let's speed it up to 140. And the biggest thing is there's no break between the chords, okay? That's really testing how good your chord changes are. So we're going to count ourselves in, 140. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and then we're going to repeat 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we're done. Repeat this exercise again, just basically by adding, we're working with quarter notes but counting them as eighth notes. Sorry if that's confusing, but that was 140 BPM but counting it as eighths, 1 and 2 and. So actually it's half of that, it's 70 BPM at eighth notes. That's the true tempo. Right. With this exercise, you can use whatever chord you like. I was just giving you an example of C, G, and F because they're nice everyday chords, but you could use whatever you like. It's just getting your left hand prepared for moving around whilst these kids are also alternating. Cool. Right. Keep that practice up again. Remember, practice is best little and often, okay? 3 minutes every single day will trump an hour here or there. Okay, so just get in the habit of picking up that ukulele every single day. Right, thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.